Hi YouTube, how are you? I was watching a few videos and of course I got a little bit upset with some people lack of knowledge, borderline stupidity. They don't know and they just waste their hard-earned money without doing one iota of research. I know you are looking at me in my beautiful South American alpaca sweater, okay? And do yourself a favor so people don't call you stupid, arrogant. Alpacas don't have wool. Alpacas, llamas, vicuñas, guanacos, they're camels. That's why they only have two toes. Being a cameloid don't have wolves. They have fiber. And I'm reading this, I guess it's British or website that now they use the word royal next to alpaca and immediately they jack the price up. There is no royal alpaca because we don't have royalty in South America. We chopped the head up 400 years ago. Comprende? We don't buy this blue crap. Blue black stuff. We don't. So the royal in Latino stuff, drop it. The Spaniards, they think they're still part of the Americans, but they're too stupid to even deal with America. I know Mexico is destroying it to pieces. And the king, the criminal king ran away. He's criminal king, yes, say that again. This is why we had the problem with government and the screwed up government. And the new king is trying to exert some type of moral authority in us. And the Latinos, he's full of shit. Literally, he's full of crap. So, I told you on my first bunch of one of my old videos, alpaca has like the human hair. You got head hair, you got eyebrow, you got leg hairs, you got private hair. They're not the same. So, in the alpacas, this part right here, the chest, this is the softer fiber in the alpaca. And because it's a little bit softer and then the amount is reduced, it's the most expensive one. Now, compare just the look between this kind and this kind. See? Even to the touch, this is a little bit rough because it's the bottom part of the alpaca right here. Remember, they got four legs. So the bottom part around the alpaca privates and the belly, this is tough. And the soft one comes from the chest. And I told you the soft part is more expensive because you have to get more alpacas to get the right amount to make a poncho. This is one piece. As you can see, there is no sewing in the middle. Look. And therefore it is definitely 2 times or 2.5 times the price than this rough one. Now, alpaca fiber again is considered much quality wise than the merino wool. Why? Because this is what is the technical word they want to use? Let me go back and hypoallergenic. Alpacas are not. Anybody can wear this with no problem. You are not allergic to it unless they mix this stuff. With some companies outside South America, they do that. They cheat on you and they mix wool with alpaca fiber. In Peru and Ecuador and Bolivia, it's a crime. Okay, you're not supposed to mix those 2 items because the government want to keep the quality pure. So if you find so-called alpaca fiber, or what some idiots call it, wool, it's because it's mixed. Drop it, leave it alone, don't touch it because it's fake. They give you something that is not supposed to be and you're gonna pay $600, $700. That's ridiculous. Now, on this one is designed for everyday use. Okay. This is the one that had the seam in the middle. You see it? Because it's done quicker and with the maximum amount of material, so it's cheaper. And then right about maybe $40. Okay, now it is not 100% waterproof. Okay, how they call it? I'm gonna tell you what they say. It's not 100% waterproof, but the problem is because it's a fiber. They are hollow in the middle, and therefore the heat radiated by the animal dry quicker, so it can get wet. Yes, use your hand or some kind of material to get the wet off in a matter of minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. With your body heat, it dries up the fiber because it's hollow. In relation with the merino wool, that it sucks 50% of the weight. So if your sweater weighs 10 pounds, it will swallow 5% of water. That's the difference between a fiber and a wool. Now, what I have right here is another nice sweater, different color. And this is the part that you have to see. There are 2 or 3 companies in South America, okay, in Peru and in Ecuador. And the city of Otavalo, okay, this is a very city in the north of Ecuador. And if you can see, they got the labels. In this case, it's made by the Rumiñahui. And then they have Otavalo, Ecuador industry. So these are the cities where you are guaranteed to have 100% of the stuff done by the indigenous people, 100% alpaca. Now, why do I mess with this? Because you have a lot of people now that they're selling blankets, and they're not 100% alpaca, or they're not 100% vicuña. Now, vicuña, you can find it, but not in ponchos, and definitely not in blankets, because it's more expensive. They only make gloves, special hats, like South American, Bolivian kind of hat, Peruvian, and gloves, okay? There is much smaller animals, and it takes a lot of material to make that hats, gloves, and scarves, and it is more expensive than the vicuña. I mean the alpaca. The vicuña is much more expensive because the animal is smaller. Now, also, I was watching videos. I always cross the little pond and go to watch the videos on Russian Finnish, and I was watching a video from somebody in Spain, and this is what bothers me to all the ladies that watch me. I know I got about 10-50% of female watchers that cooking videos, and this guy mentioned the potatoes, papas, that they call it, they have a different name in Spain. They don't call potatoes or papas, they have a weird name, and they put the usage of the potatoes back in the Middle Ages, medieval ages. I called my producer, I read this statement over here, and she said that immediately she read the first line, mind you, English is first language, and said this is wrong because that's older than potatoes. So she knew from the beginning that Christopher Columbus, better known as Cristobal Colon, arrived in the Americas in 1492, October to be precise, 12. And the ending of the medieval ages is 1500. So they did not have potatoes in Europe, in Africa, in Asia before 1492. So this medieval food is funny baloney BS. The potato is 100% South American, Peruvian, Ecuadorian, and the western part of Bolivia. Now, why do I say that? Because there are roughly around 500 kinds of potatoes in Peru. Yes, 500 kinds of potatoes, and Ecuador has another different kind of potatoes. They were cultivating the plant and changing the plant for over 1,000 years, even before the 1492. And potato was a basic food for the Indians in South America. Basic food. And if you read history, you will know that they had found potatoes are 900 years old, buried with the mummies, that they washed, they cleaned it, not quite potatoes because they were dry, cold dry up in the mountains, and washed with the starch, and they last hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's the most friendly food if you know how to deal with it. Now, then another one that has seemed South American seed is quinoa. It's becoming very popular here with the diabetic people because it doesn't have the starch and it doesn't have the sugars like the rice or potatoes or the yuca or yaca, mispronounced in English, so stuff like that. And this is the perfect food because it got more minerals than any other seed or beans on the face of the earth. It's a little expensive, maybe $5. Okay, and by the way, quinoa, the original quinoa, it only grows in South America in the high mountains. The Canadians stole the plants and tried to have a production in Canada, but they went belly up. You have to have the right temperature, cold and heat. This is what I'm talking about, el altiplano, high and plain. The right amount of water in the soil is specific to the area, volcanic mountains. Canadians don't have that, for it would never grow quinoa. Now, in my North American Indians, we have the corn, the maize, actually maize. Now, maize and corn, they're not quite the same. Maize is more wild than the corn. But you can make flour out of the maize, and they've been eating tortillas for the last 2,000 years. So it bothers me when Europeans, especially stupid Europeans, want to steal the product from the Americas and make it sound like they have it before that. Wrong, guys. Learn your history. Now that we're going into crisis, it's getting a little bit difficult to have money and acquire food. There are some products, maseca, the Mexican style, the native Mexican Indian style, and the quinoa, the South American, that will provide all energy as a hamburger, as a beef. And you don't have to be spend a lot of money. So don't let liars and thieves and people that want to take your money and fall for the trap. You know, you do a little bit of research. Now, why do I have maseca in a Gatorade bag? Because I'm afraid of the weebles. If you put it over here, there's less oxygen and it will last months. And I like to do this. Actually, there is a beautiful indigenous soup called sopa de maíz, bolitas de maíz, maize little bowls. What you do is you make a dough, like a bread, would have to be corn maseca, put a little bit of oil, a little bit of water, and that's it. Water and a little bit of oil. And then you knead it nice and neat, and then you make little bowls, and then you squash with the thumb in the middle of the bowl, and then that becomes like almost like a caracol noodle. Okay, but the noodles are made with wheat, but this is made out of corn, and you put it in a pot. You boil it. You put a little bit of chicken, bouillons, onions, a little bit of potatoes, carrots, and it's a wonderful soup. You have all the stuff. Okay, guys. So this is basically to tell you that be careful with your money, and don't allow thief to lie to you and take your money. Do a little bit of research. Ask people that knows what they're talking about because they are from the area, and ask questions. So you get your hard-earned money and you get the stuff that is good to have. This is what everybody in the Altiplanos in South America use ponchos because it's the most perfect type of attire. I know the Europeans, the Russians use their anorak, but it's very uncomfortable. You cannot ride a horse, you cannot work. With the poncho, you just flip the stuff on one side, over your shoulder, flip the other over your shoulder, and you can do whatever you want to do, and you cool off too, so you don't have to sweat a lot with like when you wear an anorak. Different part of the world, different food, different everything, and the part that bothers me is when you want to take one side of the world and change it and steal the properties and make it another one. That is wrong, guys. Give to Pedro what belongs to Pedro, and give to God what belongs to God, and everybody will be happy. Thank you for your time. Talk to you later. I hope you have a nice piece of turkey. I'm enjoying Mexican style turkey today. It was wonderful, guys. You know, it's weird, but hey, different people, different food, different everything. I enjoy it very much. Behave.